Unstable is trying to keep up with that Ferrari in a minivan with a bunch of stuff on the roof. Now, if that ain't my life, both of those, that got to a point that this depression, this level, at one time destroyed me. Period.
Fill the room with the juice. That's a lot of loot.
All right. Part 2, no intro. Let's go. 11 minutes and 30 seconds. If you're coming in and you didn't watch part 1, I will link it up below. Go catch up. And let's get in it because I need to put this makeup on. Period. Bipolar in order. Interesting. Let us know. Let us know, sir. Okay? Because look, I can't even wait.
Recovery means I've learned how to minimize that flow of energy and information. I've learned how to keep the symptoms from happening. I'm recovered. And one of the biggest studies that have been done is by the federal government, National Institute of Mental Health, did a study called STEP BD. And that study defined recovery as getting it down to only 2 symptoms over the next year. So they couldn't get it all the way to 0, but they said, well, we'll define recovery as getting it down to only 2. And as they looked at that study, they determined, according to the researchers, that even with the best evidence-based treatment, the best treatment we have, bipolar disorder remains a highly recurrent, mostly depressive illness the older we get. Pretty depressing. So they have proven by their own multi-year, multi-clinic research program, the biggest of its kind, that the concept doesn't work. Well, you know, we have another name for recovery. Bored.
Okay. No, really though.
So we're bored.
I'd be so bored when I'm medicated.
We wish we had some fun again. We stopped taking the treatment, and where are we? We're back in crisis again. So we can't find a way out of this trap. But they came to a conclusion in their study. And their conclusion to me is the very definition of insanity. We already know it doesn't work. Let's just keep trying the same thing over and over again, hope it works differently next time. So their conclusion is the absence of all symptoms should be the goal of treatment for everyone. That's how we define it. I call this bipolar disorder, and so does everyone else. This is a vicious cycle that will ask for the rest of our lives that we be constantly vigilant and trying to minimize our lives to the point that some of us never even leave our homes because we don't want to be triggered into another episode. We're asked to live a bored, horrible life that is one bad night's sleep away from another crisis for the rest of our lives. This is what they call a paradigm. This is a belief system. And this belief system is the dominant belief system in mental health today, throughout the whole world. I don't agree with it. So I decided I was going to challenge it about 10 years ago. And I started gathering people together, people who had our condition, parents and loved ones that saw it from a different angle, and professionals. And I got them together and said, how can we come up with a better system? And over the years, it's developed more and more. And now I'll share with you where we are today. What if we added back in this concept of comfort zone? What if I got myself into recovery, which is an incredibly necessary step? We cannot, from outside of our comfort zone, somehow magically get a control over it. But if we can follow the standard path that I totally agree with, that gets us into our comfort zone, and now that we're in our comfort zone, we use these tools that we've been given, that we've learned how to use, and we take a step on purpose, slightly outside of our comfort zone. And then we immediately take a step back in. And then we take a step back out, and we immediately take a step back in. And every time we step out, it's a little frightening. It's a little scary. But we've got loved ones around us and professionals around us, and we have incredible tools for us to use to step back in. And if you stepped out and in and out and in enough times, you will find yourself standing here going, this is now part of my comfort zone. I'm comfortable here. Just like a lot of you who raised your hands. We're comfortable here. I take the next step and say, I'm going to step out now and back in again, under supervision and carefully. What happens is eventually we find ourselves at a place that I call freedom. I am now free from the disorder that's ruining my life. I am now at a state where I'm experiencing a flow of information and energy that at one time was overwhelming for me, and I was trying my darndest to make it go away, and now I'm comfortable there. We call that freedom. If I keep following that path and I start developing more advanced tools and more advanced skills, I find myself at a place where I'm experiencing what we call stability. And stability is so misunderstood that it doesn't even fit the definition of stability when we call it stability.
Interesting.
Doctors say, I'm going to get a patient stable. I'm going to get a mentally ill patient stable. And what they mean by that is I'm going to have no symptoms. We've stabilized the patient. But by definition of the way they're looking at it in their own conclusions,
I'm dead.
That's not stable at all.
Idiots.
That level of stability means I'm so easily disrupted that a bad night's sleep will get me back into crisis. That's
not stable. Okay.
Stable
Let
is
them
taking
know.
a Ferrari around a twisted road. It's such a stable car that no matter how fast I go, all the twists and turns won't flip me over. Unstable is trying to keep up with that Ferrari in a minivan with a bunch of stuff on the roof. Now, if you park both of those in a garage, they're both stable. That's what they're asking us to do. They're asking me to park this Ferrari mind in a garage for the rest of my life, thinking that I'm being stable. And as soon as I leave the garage, I'm unstable. Wouldn't it be better if we taught people how to really be stable? I can be stable, and we've helped a lot of people get there. No matter what happens to us, our deepest depressions and our highest manias, and we're still stable. We've got people here tonight that you can talk to that got to a point that this depression, this level, at one time destroyed me.
Period.
But now I experience this exact same level. I'm comfortable with it. It works for me. That's real stability. I'm no longer afraid of what happens if I wake up tomorrow and I'm depressed. So it's just another day. Bruh. That's hard for people to see. That's even possible when we're on this end.
Right. Yeah.
When we're in crisis, it's impossible to understand that some of us have that same level of that flow of energy and information, and it doesn't cause a crisis for us.
I don't like my eyebrows. Dang! Whatever.
Yes, it's challenging, but we've learned how to live this way. We've learned how to live with the highs and lows that life brings.
I have learned, yeah.
Those of us that take it to the next step find ourselves experiencing a level of
self-mastery
deeper
girl.
than
I can't even read.
We find ourselves experience a level of mania higher than the one that used to cause problems for everyone. Except for now our behavior is under our control and we're not a problem. It's not a problem for us.
At all.
Because we've learned how to master ourselves.
I just don't even be caring
we gained
what
a
other
state
people
of
think.
Self-mastery that says it really doesn't matter what flow of energy and information is coming at me. I know how to respond to it. I've learned how to choose how to react to this flow of energy and information. I'm facing 95 mile an hour fastballs of life, and I'm hitting home runs with it.
Okay.
I've learned how to live
baby.
bipolar.
Okay.
This self-mastery is happening with more and more of us because we've taken the effort, which is a tremendous amount of effort, to get there.
Right.
Stephen Hinshaw, the chairman of the department at Berkeley, he puts it really well after he read my Bipolar in Order book, that what we're saying is it's not about symptom reduction, it's about learning how to adapt to who we really are. It's about learning that I happen to hallucinate.
You better let us know.
But I understand what's going on. How many of us saw that movie called A Beautiful Mind?
Mm.
Those of you who haven't, if you want to get a feel for what it's like to hallucinate, watch this movie.
Mm-hmm.
This movie was actually a true story. The guy in the movie was there on the set while they made the movie.
Oh, wow.
He won the Nobel Prize because he hallucinated.
Wow.
He was in a bar one night and he had a hallucination, and he didn't even realize he was hallucinating, but he went home and he did all the math, and that earned him the Nobel Prize.
Wow.
But he didn't realize he was hallucinating. He didn't understand what was going on, so he couldn't separate his hallucinations from regular life. And it almost killed him and his family. But he got it together enough to be able to go back to work and live a fairly normal life again. He knew the difference.
Right.
Sometimes he needed help, but he knew the difference.
Right.
And those of you that saw the movie, towards the end of the movie, he's walking out of his classroom, and the guy who wants to give him the Nobel Prize comes up to him in the hallway. And he turns to one of his students, and he says, "Is this person real?" Everybody remember that? And she goes, "Why? Do you still see people?" And he says, "Yes, but I choose to ignore them."
You know what?
And I thought, ignore them. If you know the difference between hallucinating and regular, even if you have to ask somebody, you might have won another Nobel Prize if you didn't ignore it. If you saw that there was something in there that was a flow of energy and information that you could value and make something out of, why don't you allow yourself to see it instead of ignoring it? Totally different way of looking at this. Well, what that means is we've achieved a state called bipolar in order. I'm bipolar. There is no doubt about it. I have extreme highs and extreme lows, even more extreme than when I was in disorder. But they don't control my life.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I like that guy. Ooh, I'm so mad the next video is 28 minutes. I'm going to watch it in my own time. I will link it in the description so you guys can as well, but I'm not going to react to it. Honestly, he's so right. And look, let me tell you something. Like I have said I think I've only said it in one other video, but when I first thought I had it, it was like in 2016, and I was literally, when I tell you guys, I could feel like something else. Like, it wasn't me. You know what I mean? Like, as in, like, how do I even say it without sounding ridiculous? Like, the things that were coming into my mind, the things that were being said, it was almost like a demon was saying it. It wasn't like I was saying it. So what I did is I just sat down and started writing down everything that my brain was saying. And I still have that journal, like that journal entry. I should probably do like a video reacting to it, because I already know I haven't read it since then because it scared me that much. But again, it was something that I realized and was like, you know what, this is not me. Let me put it on a piece of paper so that later when I'm out of this, I can go back and read it and understand, you know, like what to do if it happens again, kind of thing. And that's why I have notebooks everywhere, literally all over this house. There's papers, pens, like there's never a time that I don't have a pen in case I need to write something down, because I am trying to keep up with so much that is going on in my brain, and a lot of people just don't realize that. So if I'm out in public, I kind of have to shut that all down, which I actually can't. So then that heightens my anxiety. So then when I'm not like being all, you know, like dancing or, you know, whatever it may be, you know, if people, are you okay? It's like, what, do you want to get a drink? And it's like, oh, I'm fine. But there's just so much going on in my brain that you don't know, and no one else knows, obviously, because you can't just randomly just bring that up in the club or like, you know, when you're out with your friends or eating or stuff like that. So when I see like a lot of my friends out and about on the weekends and they're doing stuff, I'm just thinking in my head, like, I don't blame them for not inviting me. I don't blame them for them, you know, not wanting me to be there, because I know how I can be sometimes depending on the environment, what's going on. So that then hinders my friendships and my relationships. So, anyways, where I'm going with this is, at that time, I didn't think I had, I did think I had bipolar disorder, but I saw it in a different way. I saw it like a spiritual awakening, to where I was able to learn more about myself and like what I wanted to do and how I wanted to express myself. Again, this was in 2016, right? So this whole journey of being on YouTube and just being more open and, you know, having like a mental illness account like on Instagram, and it's just all of those things have stemmed from that time in my life in 2016. So when I tell people like, oh yeah, you know, I've had my channel since 2011, but I just started uploading at the end of 2018, that was because a crisis happened, like you said. So that crisis was when I was in the hospital. Then from there, I was like, I have to figure out a way to manage this. If I'm managing it by myself, then I need other people to be there with me while I'm managing it. Unfortunately, those people have to also understand where I'm coming from. So with that being said, I can't put that on every single one of my friends. I can't put that on every single one of my family members. You know what I'm saying? So I just decided I'm going to build a tribe, and I'm going to find more people who feel like this and understand what it's like to live in this manner, because I'm going to have it for my whole life, right? So it's not like it's going to go away and I'm just not going to be talking about it. You know what I mean? But I understand there's some people that are just too scared to be that vulnerable, and I get it. But I've been scared my whole life, baby. Let me tell you. I've been scared my whole life, and I'm done being scared. I'm done. Period. So let me know what you guys thought about this video. Let me know what y'all thought about the commentary, everything. And I will see you guys in the next one. I'm going to finish up my makeup. And, oh, also, I did see many comments about my glove that I use to do my makeup. I got this from my mom. My mom has been using a makeup to do using a glove to do her makeup for a number of years. I don't believe she does it anymore because she said it's not good for your skin, which she's not wrong. It's actually not good for your skin to use a glove, at least if you're pulling and tugging. So if you're like right here and you just start tugging, you got to be really like careful. And besides the point, I use a medical glove. I've never used anything other than a medical glove, so I don't really know like about the gloves that tattoo people use, or the gloves that, you know, are disposable. Like, I don't know about all of that. I personally wouldn't do it, but I use just a regular medical glove. I am looking into creating my own glove because I do want to get with a dermatologist, or really my dermatologist, and see, you know, what damage I am doing to my skin over time, because I'm sure it's not good to tug at the skin. So that's why I haven't said a lot about me using the glove, because I don't necessarily want to influence people to do that, especially if I don't know what the, you know, precautions and the after effects of using it for a long period of time. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. I don't want y'all to think I'm just ignoring y'all gloves comment, because I'm not. This is just how I do my makeup. I'm not a makeup artist, so I'm a kind of person that I don't like to talk about things I don't know about. If I don't know about something, I don't really necessarily like to bring it up, unless, you know, I'm just saying my thoughts and my opinions. Alrighty, y'all. I'll see y'all on the next one. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. And purpose it. Okay.
Molly purpose it. Yo. Purpose it. Molly purpose it.